Hey fabricators, welcome to the channel where we like to talk about all things Fabric. Today I'm going to be looking at how you can become an administrator on your Fabric tenant. Now as always, if you do enjoy the content, if you do find it useful, please don't forget to like the video and of course subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out. So, Fabric Administrator Access. One of the very first steps in a lot of the videos I make, if I'm talking about some kind of Fabric feature, is that you need to go into that admin portal and you need to set up some configuration. So you might need to enable a particular feature. I might talk about features that you want to have switched off. There's various other things that you can configure in there as well. The thing being, how do you actually get access to that admin portal? What actually is it? So in your Fabric portal, everybody will see, if you come up to the settings cog in the top right hand corner, click onto this and scroll down, you see this admin portal option. Let's go this side so you can see it better. Now, if I click onto this, you'll get a screen that looks something like this, and you'll see the admin portal options available to you here on the left hand side. Pretty much everybody should be able to see those options. You'll see the capacity settings, which will be there that'll be there regardless of whether or not you've actually got access to administer a particular capacity, and you've got a help and support option there as well. What you can't see are some of the various other admin options that I'm likely to speak about in future videos. So how can you get that access? Well, there are two routes. Route number one is to be a global administrator on your Microsoft 365 tenant. Now, if you work for a small business, for example, I run my own business, it might be possible that you have full administrator access and full global admin rights on your Microsoft tenant, and you're responsible for looking after all of that estate, as well as looking after the Fabric environment and doing the data analytics as well. As I say, as a one-man band, I have to do that. But if you work for a larger organisation, and I would say this is probably the majority of people, it seems unlikely that the people that are responsible for that kind of infrastructure and the people that look after the data analytics and need to manage something like Fabric, it's unlikely that's going to be the same person or the same people. So global administrator access, if we were to apply the principle of least privilege, which is this idea that you should only really be given the sort of level of access that you require to do your job. I'll stick a link to this article in the description. Going for that principle of least privilege, giving global admin rights just seems a little bit overkill. That's godlike powers on the entire Microsoft tenant. But there is option two, and that is that there is a specialist Fabric administrator role available that just gives you the admin rights in that Fabric tenant. So how do you go about getting that access? Again, there are two different ways. So firstly, you'll need somebody who's got that global administrator access on the Microsoft tenant, or else there's also something called a user administrator who can do this as well. They've got two paths. They can do it sort of programmatically using code. So there's a whole guide here out on the Microsoft documentation. This is how you assign admin roles to 365 user accounts using PowerShell. So you can follow this guide, and there's a PowerShell script there that you can run, and you just need to be able to apply the correct role to the user. Again, I'll share this guide in the description for the video. So then the second option, if you don't want to do it by code, is to do it via the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So that looks like this. What you need to do from this menu, you go to your active users, find the user that you want to give that access to. We're going to come to this option here, manage roles. And that is a case from an admin center access perspective. If we go down to show by category, there is an option here for Fabric Administrator. And you've got the description there of what that role does. Once that role has been given to a user, if you come back in the Fabric portal, again, we're going to go to settings. We are going to come down to the admin portal here now. And you will see now over on the left hand side we have got a whole host of options. These are all the various options that we needed for administering your Fabric tenant. So there you have it. That is how you set up Fabric Administrator Access on your Fabric tenant. As I say, you will need somebody who's either a global administrator or a user administrator on your Microsoft tenant to be able to set that up for you. And once that's set up, you get access to all those additional admin options. For me, I think it makes absolute sense rather than relying on a global administrator and your infrastructure team who probably look after a much wider estate. If you are responsible for management of just the Fabric element, just looking after that Fabric tenant, doing development work, and managing all the content, it does make sense to designate that particular set of access to somebody who can look after it with a bit of a closer eye and have a bit more specialist knowledge about what all those configuration settings do. So, do hope that's been useful. If you have enjoyed the video, as I've already said, please do give it a thumbs up, smash that like button, and of course, also please do subscribe to the channel. Once again, as I say, it really does help us grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon.